we saw the major drops in death from many infectious diseases, say starting at 1900, when they started keeping records, 1900, 1910, until about 1940, 1950. Those rates of those diseases dropped dramatically. Before the vaccines were ever introduced, they dropped over 90%. And so the bigger drops were before the vaccines were produced.
This chart of deaths from pertussis, or whooping cough, is from Vital and Historical Statistics of the United States from 1900 to 1968. It shows a dramatic decline in deaths from pertussis well before the pertussis vaccine came into widespread use in the 1940s. The death rate falls from as many as 17 per 100,000 in 1918 to less than 2 before the vaccine came into widespread use in the late 1940s. This chart of New York City mortality rates tracks infectious disease from 1880 to 1911. It shows that deaths from diphtheria, the blue line, fell precipitously from a high of 175 deaths per 100,000 in 1882 to less than 25 by 1911. Deaths from the croup also declined dramatically during the same period, yet there is no vaccine for the croup. This chart of United States mortality rates shows that continued deaths from diphtheria had fallen below 15 per 100,000 before the vaccine was introduced in 1920. Pertussis fell from as many as 16 per 100,000 in 1907 and 17 per 100,000 in 1919 to fewer than 1 by 1951. The vaccine was in use from the 1940s, but sizable drops occurred well before it was introduced. Measles, the green line, fell to less than 2 per 100,000 in 1940, a full 25 years before the vaccine was first introduced in 1963. Typhoid, the dark blue line, and scarlet fever, the red line, also declined dramatically over the same period without a vaccine. This graph shows the decline of all 5 diseases. Some declined before a vaccine, others declined without one.